In this video, I want to walk you through the 6 tactics or strategies that I've used in my business to grow from 0 to 100K per month without spending anything on ads. We've done that in about 6 months. We've done it all through outreach, and I want to share with you how we've done it, what we've actually done, so that you can ultimately do the same. Just to be crystal clear, we have spent money on ads before. Our business has evolved. It's not a reoccurring model. We did start to use paid ads at some point. We've turned them off because ultimately we don't really need them at this stage in the size of our business. If you don't know who I am, before I kind of jump in, built and scaled 2 agencies to 7 figures, Laurence Marketing and now Hey You. Hey You, we help other business owners to generate more appointments and grow online. How did we get to 100K per month without spending any money on ads? First thing is all about the fact that we solve a common problem. That did not happen by mistake. A lot of people solve problems for businesses, try and sell their services, whether it's agency, whether it's high ticket, whether it's done with you, done for you, whatever it may be, but they're trying to solve a problem that is not that common. And when you do that, it makes your life a bit more difficult. It's like trying to sell sweets that nobody wants to buy, nobody likes the flavor of, or very few people like the flavor of. We want to be trying to sell something that everybody wants. The problem with that is the solution to a common problem is generally harder to come across, because if the solution was clear and obvious, then the problem wouldn't be common, if that makes sense. So there's always this like seesaw effect, I guess, with how common the problem is. Therefore, the solution must be rare. Otherwise, the problem wouldn't be common. We purposely chose to solve a common problem. It's difficult to do, but once you know how to do it, it's pretty easy to replicate. We're able to get to 100K per month because we know how to generate sales calls for ourselves, which means that we know how to generate sales calls for our clients. A great thing about our business model is we're able to solve problems for ourselves, which solve problems for our clients as well. So the more that we succeed, the better that we get at growing our own business, the better our clients get as well. The second thing is about understanding our numbers. And so many people, they do some form of outreach and they don't really know their numbers. That can be forgiven, I guess, if you are just starting out and you're doing outreach for the first time. But most people don't have any concept of what good looks like. They don't have any concept of what bad looks like. And what happens is they end up either working on something that's never going to work, i.e. they're constantly kind of doing the same thing and just like pushing more volume through, and it's never going to work. Or they stop doing something that is working and they stop it because they don't really realize that it's good enough, and they just vastly underestimate the volume that is required in order to succeed. And I'll give you an example. A lot of people that we speak to, we ask them, have you ever done any cold outreach in the past? And those that say, yeah, we tried some cold email, often ask, how many domains, how many email addresses have you got? And they say, yeah, we got 3 domains and we got 6 email addresses. And it's like, well, that's okay, but it's nowhere near the volume that is required in order to actually succeed at any significance for any period of time if you've got 6 email addresses. And most people think that 6 email addresses are okay. I spoke to somebody that's doing 200K a month and they're doing cold email and they've got 5 email addresses. It's not because they don't want to invest in more email addresses. They just don't understand that you need an awful lot more in order for this to work. We understand our numbers, and it's important that you understand your numbers as well. How many it actually takes to succeed. You can't necessarily send out 200-300 emails a week and expect to get, any significant results. We send out thousands of emails every single week. The beauty of outreach is that we send to the number of emails that we want in order to get the sales calls that we can handle. And so we actually could send out more if we wanted to. It's a very scalable system, but we don't because we can't handle the volume of sales calls that it will create, or the number of clients that it can create as well. And then the next thing, which kind of leads on to this, is we have a team. We have an outreach team. They're built up of virtual assistants overseas. I hire one VA that manages the rest of the team, and then I just communicate with that VA on a daily basis. We couldn't do what we do. We couldn't get to 100K per month if I was doing everything myself, is basically what I'm getting at here. So if you want to get any volume going, you're going to need help, because take paid ads, for example. You obviously pay with dollars, you pay with money. And when it comes to outreach, you don't pay with money, you pay with time, but it doesn't need to be your time. And also, not only that, is you only have so much time each day. You probably don't have enough time in exchange for the value that you want. So you might have enough ad dollars, but we're not running paid ads. We're talking about outreach here. And you only have 24 hours, and it might require more than 24 hours to get what you want in return from it. So you need to outsource, you need to hire, you need to train a team to help you basically. And that team might be a team of one other person. It might be a team of 10 other people. It depends on how many sales calls that you want. But ultimately, you need to understand that there's a trade-off that needs to happen, and it is with time. Generally speaking, people, again, drastically underestimate the amount of time that is actually required to make this work. We do see it from time to time, but very rarely do we see clients that have worked with a very rigid done-for-you agency when it comes to cold email and seen any success. And the reason being is the amount of time it takes in order to get cold outreach to work properly is drastically underestimated. Not just by a business owner that doesn't know anything about cold email, but also by people that run cold email agencies. They still drastically underestimate the time commitment that is required. It is at least one person's full-time job. And without dogging on lead gen, done for you lead gen agencies too much, or should I say cold email agencies, very few of them will hire one person for every new client that they get, which is why that business model fundamentally doesn't work.
Hey, just real quick, sorry to interrupt the video, but I just wanted to let you know of our brand new free course that we have just launched that takes you through how to book more appointments on your sales calendar through cold email. The course is completely free. It comes with a free community as well, where there's live calls where you can ask me anything, get your questions answered. The second link in the description is going to take you to the free course. As I say, completely free. And it's going to walk you through how to get success from your cold email campaigns. So I will leave it there and enjoy the rest of the video.
Another one is that we're constantly testing and we're constantly adapting. So the fundamentals before we get onto that is that we are actually tracking, because there's no point testing and adapting if we don't know what we're testing, what we're trying to improve. So fundamentally, it all comes down to tracking and making sure that we understand how everything's performing. We track everything. We track, open rates, click-through rates, video watch rates. We track absolutely everything. And so that when we are making adjustments, we can see whether or not the adjustment is actually improving things or making it worse. A lot of people don't do that. They get shiny object syndrome. And what happens is they start implementing new things, hoping that all of a sudden their results are going to spike. And they're not sure whether it does or doesn't. And they're not really doing it in a scientific way, I guess. And that's the way that we like to kind of view ourselves, as we are having lots and lots of scientific experiments every single day, and we're constantly adapting. When new technologies come out, we're constantly testing new technologies. We're constantly testing everything all the time to try and improve things. Our keystone metric, our number one North Star metric, is our appointment booking rate. How many leads do we have to contact in order to get a call booked on the calendar? We're just trying to improve that at every step of the way. Whether that means that we have to change the script in a video, whether it means we have to change the subject line, whether it means we have to change the email service provider that we're sending an email from, whether we have to test what sort of volume that we can send emails from a particular email address. We test absolutely everything, and it's quite a minefield to do so, but that's the degree of detail you need to get to if you want to have success, because what we're doing is abnormal in terms of the amount of work that goes into it, and the results that we're getting from it are abnormal as well. So a lot of people try and do the normal side of things when it comes to the input, the work, and then they try and get abnormal results. They try and get normal input, abnormal output, i.e. lots and lots of sales calls on the calendar with very little input. And they just kind of cross their fingers and hope that it works. And then when it doesn't, it's like, outreach doesn't work. It doesn't work for my business. Or we've constantly track first, basically, and then we test and we adapt. And the next thing is that we charge on value. In order to get to 100K per month, obviously we need to be generating eyeballs, we need to be generating sales calls, but we also need to be charging the right amount. Because if we're charging $1,000 to work with somebody for 4 months, it's like going to be very difficult to get to those numbers. It's going to be a massive headache. So we charge on value, and we make it make an awful lot of financial sense for everybody that we speak to. If it doesn't make financial sense for them, then we don't really even pitch our services. So everything has to make financial sense for the prospect. And then once it makes financial sense for them and they can see that basically based off what we can do for them, it's very, very, very likely that they're going to succeed. They're going to see a positive ROI. That's when we'll offer our services, and we price based off basically what we're worth. We price based off our value, what we can provide a client. We're not looking at competitors and thinking how much do they charge, what are they doing. We're just doing it based off how well we can support a client, basically. And then another one, which is really kind of a little bit more abstract, but we surround ourselves with the right type of people. I surround myself with people that are doing more than me. I want to be the smallest person in the room. I want to be the person that is looking up to others as opposed to being looked up to, because that's where like complacency sets in. So surround myself with people that are doing more. For example, we generate 200 sales calls in the last 30 days, like 191, I think it was. And there's friends of mine that are generating like 500, 600, 700 sales calls. Admittedly, they're doing like paid ads, or they've got YouTube channels that are, 100 times the size of mine, but they are doing things that I aspire to. And when you surround yourself with those types of people, they kind of naturally just bring you up. So they are 6 ways that we have been able to get ourselves to 100K a month without spending money on ads. And I think one of the things that you can tangibly take away from this is, if you want to surround yourself with people that are trying to achieve what you're trying to achieve, that are achieving what you're looking to achieve, that have done what you're trying to do, then there'll be a link in the description to join our community of other business owners that are looking to grow through outreach. Inside that community, there's a free course which teaches you how to run cold email. You get access to me, and I'll be kind of answering any questions that you may have. So you can join that community, get access to that course, ask me questions on your journey to being able to get to 100K a month purely through outreach. And if you've got value from this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help the channel grow. I hope you found this useful. And one kind of remaining thing is, if you want us to come in and help you build out the exact systems that we have and learn exactly what we know, then there'll also be a link in the description to book a call with me personally, and I'll explain exactly how we can work one-on-one, helping you install the same systems we have in our own business but into your business, so that you can emulate some of the early success that we've seen through outreach as well. So yeah, that link will be in the description as well. And any questions, just drop me a comment below this video, and I will see you on the next one.